Oh, good morning. Just having my coffee before I start this week's editing of the vlog, which will be being released and you're going to be watching now. And I just want to make a bit of a statement, set things right. Last week's vlog, I mentioned that one of the reasons when somebody asked me why I have a YouTube channel is that I find it helps my mental health. I don't think I've got any mental health issues, but it gives me something to focus on, something to share, something for my family to watch, and they can see that I'm doing okay. And this channel was never set up to be a razzmatazz whistles and flutes sort of channel. It's just day-to-day life on a boat at Mercia Marina at the moment, because I can't go out because I still work, with Misty. And that involves everything from the cooking side of things to laundry. It's just allowing you guys to have a look into my life. And some are finding it enjoyable. But this last week, even though I did explain that I get mental health issue benefits from doing this, I got this following comment. Now, I'm old enough and daft enough to know that when you put yourself onto YouTube, you're opening yourself up to all sorts of people. And, you know, I'm pretty thick-skinned when it comes to most things, but I just think, you know, if I was stood in a pub and I was chatting to this same person, would they then make the same comment to my face as they do when they're sat at home on their keyboard? So my answer to this fella really is I could have blocked you, I could have removed your comment. I haven't. I've left it for everybody else to see. Because I believe that people are entitled to their opinions. Now, I'm sorry if my presentation is boring and is giving you a situation where you've lost the will to live. But can I remind you that you can simply unsubscribe, and if you haven't subscribed and you just happen to come across the channel, you don't have to watch it. You know, if you think, oh, this guy's a real bore, then flick down to the next video. It's as simple as that. It was never aimed at being a high-speed lifestyle, because we're living on a boat, and I choose to live on a boat because most people like me who do are looking to get away from being a hamster in a wheel, rushing. So if my painting the side of my boat or the roof of my boat or whatever it is I'm doing goes over 3 or 4 vlogs, that's because I work, and on my days off I do the filming to create these vlogs. So yes, it might take 3 or 4 weeks. A friend of mine recently blacked his narrowboat. He's got a lovely channel, and it took him 4 weeks of filming blacking his boat. Now, I wouldn't have thought for 1 minute to send to him a comment saying, oh, it's slow and boring, get on with it. He was showing step by step, you know, the dealings that he had to deal with, the problems he had to deal with in preparing, painting and finishing. And he made a damn good job of it. So I'm not going to rabbit on about it, but, you know, if you guys are looking for a razzmatazz channel, then I'm sorry, this isn't it, you know. I tell it as it is. I don't record and rehearse anything. It's all straight off the cuff. There's no script. And I'm openly inviting you to take a look at life as it is on a boat. And I don't dress it up. There's no reason in dressing it up, because the last thing I'd ever want is anybody to be inspired to go and buy a wide beam or a narrowboat and then regret it because it's not as it's been shown on YouTube. So to those of you who have left some fantastic comments, thank you very, very much. To the gentleman who felt it was necessary to leave a very blunt and a thumbs down, you're still entitled to watch. I haven't blocked you, and I will always reply to your comments with the courtesy that I did this time. So I'm going to finish my coffee. That's my bit of a, I won't say a moan, but I want to set the record straight, you know. I'm just me doing what I do. And if you don't like the channel, please just unsubscribe. And there's plenty, there's about 130, 140 boating channels now on YouTube. So we're all different, you know, we're all different. I'm going to finish my coffee, and then I'm going to set to and edit this vlog. And hopefully you'll all still be alive by the end of it when we come to do Cider of the Week, which, funny enough, isn't the cider that I intended it to be. I'll show you later in the vlog. Okay, so the black area has now had its second coat of Epiphan, and the gas locker lid has just a very, very thin coat of the Symphony cream paint, and it is only a thin coat, so that's why it looks very patchy. And then tomorrow, with a bigger brush, I will give it a proper top coat. And I just think then when you've got the cream, the black and the green, I'm going to compound both sides of the gas locker lid, so it'll bring a bit of a shine to that, and hopefully it'll look a lot nicer once it's completed. I'll bring you back when I've finished it. Now this has arrived today, but you can't guess what it is. It's not very thick, and slightly bigger than my eye stretch, about 1.5 of my hand sizes. I'll undo it later and show you, but I'm going to cook my tea now, so have a think what you think it might be. Go on then, this is another clue. Have you worked it out from this, do you think? Okay, it's time to see what's in this parcel. If you haven't already guessed, it's the big reveal. Now this is for one of them jobs that I've been putting off for a long while. And this is my new inspection hatch. Now my intention is to fit this in the inside the electric cupboard. Well, that's nice. They give you a pack of covers to cover up. Oh, I think that's what they're for. Although, let's have a look. Ah, yeah, let's see. So, the idea, it's got a removable centre, slots in, turn, locks down, and that's nice and permanent. And these, I didn't realise it doesn't come with screws, but that would have been handy if it had. And then these are just the little buttons, I suppose, that go inside these holes once you put your screws in. So I'm not going to push all them in, because that'll be something else I'll have got to sort, getting them back out. So yeah, it's just a nice plastic cover, as I say, easy to unlock and take out, which will give me plenty of access into the floor area, underneath the floor should I say, and hopefully it'll allow me to take some of the ballast out and I can get a pump into the floor. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I think it cost me in total, including the delivery, was £24. So if it does the job, it'll be money well invested. Now I've just got to make the hole in the floor. Good morning. It's Monday the 2nd of August, and although I started the day looking out thinking I wasn't going to get anything done because there was black clouds everywhere, it started to brighten up. So a couple of little jobs I need to sort. Yesterday, as you'll have seen already in the vlog, I set to and I cleaned the roof, and I did the port side by hand with a cloth and the starboard side with a brush because it's away from the finger jetty. Give everything a nice soapy wash down with environmental soap and rinsed off. And you know, this symphony paint that I've used on the roof, absolutely cracking. It's brilliant. What I did do, as you'll have seen in the vlog, I sprayed a very diluted version of the MC42, which is actually a canvas cleaner. It's an enzyme based canvas cleaner, and I just sprayed it on all the areas of the roof where the birds had decided to use it as bombing practice, and where there was a few what I call grubby stains. Just give it a gentle spray, left it for a few minutes, and when I came with a soft brush just to wash the roof down, it was absolutely easy, very simple. It almost makes your roof like it's non-stick. It's that simple. So I got that sorted. I got the lid on the locker, gas locker, painted. Now this morning I've already, again with the MC42, I've sprayed the green painted areas around the base of the gas locker where the lid fits, and I'm now going to by hand compound it because there's no room to get a machine in there. So I'm going to give it a bit of a compounding, and then I'm going to wax, and then I'm going to ceramic coat it. And once that's done and completed, I am going to drill a hole in the floor, and that is the bit I keep putting off. But you've seen the inspection hatch, and initially I'm just going to drive a pilot hole into the floor to see if I can discover what's underneath, whether it's building brick or if it's slabs. And if it is slabs, then there's no point in me cutting the hole out, and I've wasted £24 on the inspection port. If it is bricks, then I'm going to persevere, cut out the hole and get that hatch installed. So without any further ado, let me take you to the bow of the boat, and let's get this green paint compounded, waxed and ceramic coated. Now, because this area is quite compact, it's not going to be possible for me to put a camera on a tripod here, so I've just put a little bit of the rubbing compound directly onto the metalwork. As you can see, it's very dull, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to just give it a quick rub back, and then just let you see the results before I put some wax on. Well, it's definitely looking a bit dull, but that's just the compound drying, and I'm now going to buff this off. And once I'm happy with the result of that, I'm going to put some wax on, take the wax back off, polish it. Then I'm going to spray it with a fine mist of water before I apply the ceramic coating, which you have to apply onto wet paintwork. So let's get cracking. Now this is just after a couple of minutes of buffing. There's no wax been put on yet, no ceramic coat. This is just the result after compounding. And already you can see it's got a bit of a shine to it. It's not the it's not perfect paintwork because it's got its knocks and its bangs from the usage on the front, but my aim is just to protect it with some wax, get a bit of a shine on it, and then it'll look nice when I'm out on the water. Right, that's the good coating of wax put on and gently buffed off. I'm now going to do the bit directly behind me, and then my next task is just to give it a light spraying over with water out of my plant sprayer before I put on the coating of ceramic, which you dry off with a fresh towel, and then you just buff it, and that's it, protected. So yeah, I'm happy with that. It's never going to be Rolls Royce on the front of here. And there we go. So that's now been waxed, and it's got a coating of ceramic on it, and I think when the sun's on it, it'll look a lot nice. It's in the shade at the moment, so the camera's not really going to do it justice. Just got a little bit of blacking to go over on the front, and then the bow area is done. So I've now got to nip out, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Good morning. It's Wednesday the 4th of August, and for me it's definitely going to be D-Day, because today I'm going to try and discover what's underneath Freedom's floor in the way of ballast, and if it's removable ballast so I can actually get to see the base of the boat, then I'm going to cut out and install an inspection hatch. So drilling a hole in the floor of a boat is it is scary, even though I know in the back of my mind that I've got an oak floor on top of a plywood floor, and then there's going to be ballast before I get to the base of the boat, which I think is 12 mil, a 12 mil steel base. You can't help but feeling a bit nervous about drilling a hole. Now I'm going to install it in my in the floor in the electric cupboard, so it's out of sight, and if I drill the hole and it's blatantly obvious it's concrete slabs under the floor, then all I need to do is get a rubber bung to put over that one little hole, and that'll be the end of the project. If however it looks like it's bricks, then I'm going to go ahead and cut the hole and install that inspection hatch. So let me show you where it's going to go. Right, so this is the stern of the boat, and this is my electric cupboard, or my DIY cupboard. Dump it in here, because this is where my floor cleaner is, my rechargeable hoover, spare shoes, coats, etc. And I've just got to clear all this floor space, and then let's have a look if there's room there to put the inspection hatch. So just bear with me while I clear all the mess, and we'll take it from there. Now that's got all the clutter out of the way. Just while we're in here, let me just show you if I can just see them two. I know it's a bit dark in here, but them two pipes there, now they are going to come into play in the future. They are a feed and return pipe system going to the coil, or one of the coils in the water tank, the clarifier. And I have got a gentleman who's well, when he's got the time, he's going to come and plumb the engine, which is on the other side of this bulkhead here. He's going to run some rubber piping through around the edge and hopefully down to these, so it'll pump hot water from the engine when it's running through the coil in the clarifier tank and then return back to the engine. So when I do eventually go out cruising, I'll at least be able to heat up the water in the tank. So let's have a look if there's enough space, which I'm sure there is. I'm just reaching at my hatch, and the idea is she's going to go somewhere like that, possibly just about there, out of the way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark out roughly where that's going to fit when I've taken this piece out of the way. That's out. So then somewhere like that might be better. I'll mark a distance from that wall, and then I'm going to drill a pilot hole somewhere in this area and try and look through to see if I can work out exactly what's underneath. Now I'll try and set the camera up on the tripod, but there's no guarantee, so let's give it a whirl. Right, what I've done, I've marked out the inner and the outer of the surround for the inspection hatch. So I've come away from that back wall 3 inches and away from the side to my right 8 inches, and My intention now is to drill somewhere around this area, and if I'm successful and I'm going to go ahead, then I can put the jigsaw in once I've drawn all these lines straight and get the hole cut out. So let's get the tripod in here and see if we can film it. Okay, so that's the hole cutter installed into my little rechargeable, and well, there's nothing for it. Let's give it a go. This isn't going to be as easy as I thought, because obviously it's got no pilot drill bit inside. I'll level it up. Okay, we're going to try with an old-fashioned hole cutter. Get the setting right. Okay. It's still wood at the moment. Well, the good news is we're through, and there's no water gushing out. Let's just hoover that out of the way. Now, I don't know. Well, it's quite a thick floor. I can't see a thing through there. Not a thing. So I'm going to be working totally blind, I think. And I'm just worrying now whether the blade on the saw is going to reach that far down. Let's see if I can find something to measure. Well, it could be bricks, because I don't know. That's going down between something. You just can't see. So it's how to gauge how deep that piece of wood is. Good question, Martin. How are you going to work that one out? Bear with me a second. Trial and error. Right, this is just the old blade off the saw. I've got some new ones, but just see if this will give me an indication. Oh, I think it will. Yeah, it'll definitely cut through that distance. But the scary thing is I can't see. I just hope it's brick. I really do hope it's brick. Right, I'm going to mark it out, and I'm going to cut it. Let me bring you back once I've marked it. Now, it looks like a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, but I think I've got a rough idea where I need to be cutting, and I'm going to set a blade up and we're going to give it a whirl. Right, well that's the that's the outline cut, and it does look like it's loose. I'm sorry for the blinking, but that's my head torch, so I can get a little bit of light on the situation. I'm going to mount the camera again now and just see whether I can video me lifting this board out and see what's underneath. And there we are. I'm sorry about the light flashing, but it's the only way I can illuminate it enough for you to see. I've moved a lot of these bits out of the way for now. I've got this piece here on the right hand side. I just want to try and push that across a bit further. I'll clean that plate up, and then I'll get the inspection hatch fitted. But anybody who tells you drilling a hole in the floor of your boat isn't nerve-wracking, they're lying. Let's see how it goes when I've got it tidied up. Come back to you in a minute. In fact, you can actually see better without that flashlight, I think. A lot neater. Yeah, just going to get this piece out the way if I can. I might be able to pull it out the hole if I can, and I'm going to put some of the small pieces back to the left and the right, so it's still got some of the ballast in, and then I'll go forward and get the actual hatch secured in position. Right, I've cleared out all the bits of ballast that was in the way, and I've scraped the floor the best I can. Just getting it to wipe out with a tissue to make sure it's lovely and dry, and hopefully the next time I lift the cover it will look exactly like that. That is absolutely bang on. Bearing in mind she's 11-year-old, that little bit of surface rust that I've scraped off is only where the condensation has got underneath the ballast, and as a clear indicator it's not done a great deal of harm. Bearing in mind I think the base plate on this boat is 12mm, maybe a little bit thicker. It'll have to go a long way before it becomes serious. So I'm going to have a good clear up, and then I'm going to have a go at fitting the hatch. I'll come back to you in a minute. I'm sorry if I get my fingers in front of the lens, but it's a bit of a tight squeeze in here. But now for the moment of truth. This is the outer frame, so I've obviously got to screw flat into the floor, and then obviously once it's installed it'll look like that with the lever down. I can still put my items in here without it being in the way. Just then got to rub a bit of this off. I've just got these outer lines just to get rid of, but considering I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, I don't profess to be a DIY kind of guy, but I do like to have a go. And please remember, this isn't how you do cut a hole in your floor. This is how I cut a hole in my floor. So there's bound to be a lot of professionals out there who will find fault in what I've done. But at the end of the day, I can now, once it's all sealed in, I'll be able to take that lid out, look down there and know that the bottom of my boat is nice and dry. So yeah, just going to screw it down, and job's a good one. Right, that's the frame secure. And just bear with me, I'm just going to get the covers that go over the screws. Right, these are the covers that come in the pack with the actual cover, main hatch, and designed just to fit snug like that. Look, nice, neat and tidy. Just finishes the job. I'm not gluing them in because obviously if the day comes I need to get this out for whatever reason. It's just a case of putting an edge of a sharp blade under there just to flick them out. And where's that one going? Isn't the right way and the wrong way, is there? Could be. I don't think it really matters. No, I don't think it matters at all. and it just tidies it up, you see, so you can't see the screw heads. I think there's a few spares, I don't know. Yeah, there's a couple of spares. I'll put them somewhere safe. Chances are when I do need them, if ever that day comes, I'll have forgotten where I put them. But yeah, they give you an extra couple. So that's the frame. With all, I'm sorry the camera keeps getting in the way of what I'm doing, but you can see now, look, all the screws are now covered, and the lid just slots in. Nice and tight, and locks down. Absolutely happy with that, no problem at all. Job's a good one. Cider of the week. And welcome to this week's Cider of the Week. My crikey, what a week. I assume you're still with me. You haven't all died of boredom. That's a lot of work packed into a few days, and I must confess that doing the inspection hatch has been a nightmare getting up to doing it, but so pleasurable now knowing that it's in place, and in the future I can regularly just lift that lid, check, and make sure that there's never going to be an issue with water ingress under the floor. I have ordered a water alarm which I'm going to install. Chances I'll do that on Sunday. I'll do a little video of that, and I'll explain how all that works. So this week's Cider of the Week, well, it was going to be Brothers Tutti Frutti, because I realised there's two of the Brothers range that I haven't yet done. There's Tutti Frutti and Red Grapefruit, I believe. Now that's the one I was going to do, but I came back from walking Misty this morning and found that somebody, the cider fairy called Mick or Mike, I can't remember which, has left this on the back of my boat. And the other night when I was out walking, he'd let me know that one of these guys had let me know that he'd been watching, and waved a can of Strongbow. And I said, oh, I've never done Strongbow. And what a surprise that a can of Strongbow Cloudy Apple. And all it actually says on the can is refreshing cloudy apple cider. That's your description. It does say gently shake. I don't think you need to throw it around much, but just because it settles. And I have never had this before, so we're going to crack it open. Use that lovely tankard from Louise and Callum. I'm only going to put a drop in because, ooh, crikey, that smells like cider. It is cloudy, very cloudy, and it smells like traditional cider. Oh, that's nicer than I thought it would be. Oh, all right, we'll have a drop more of that in here. Yeah, I quite expected it being quite a, what I call a heavy kind of a cider. You know, when it's cloudy, makes me think of more like a Taunton cider. Oh, I think this could be quite dangerous. Because it hasn't got a strong taste to it. Let me just have a look if it tells you on the can. Obviously I've not done my homework on this one. It's 4%, 440ml can. I don't know what it costs because I found it on the back of my boat, so the cider fairy brought it. But this is absolutely, oh, this is what I'm going to definitely keep in the fridge. I think that's an all-rounder. I think you'd have that with a roast dinner. You'd have it with a barbecue. Or as with these guys, sat out at one of the benches on a lovely summer's evening. I've often walked past and seen them with a can, and I think, now I know why. This is absolutely lovely. Where would I rate that out of 10? It's got to be a 9. It's got to be a 9. That's a surprise. I saw the can when I come back this morning with Misty, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have to do that tonight and do that review. And I've been thinking all day, I bet that's going to be quite, quite strong. But it's lovely. Absolutely gorgeous. Get a few cans. You won't be disappointed with this one for sure. It's definitely a 9 out of 10. And it's a nice all-round, subtle taste cider. Thank you for the free gift, lads. Whoever you are, and I think I know who you are. Till next week. Cheers. Oh, that's cracking.